Hello again. Now I'm back with System Reboot. So this is about when I first started my chemo. My immune system was completely destroyed and I wasn't allowed to be around any other humans. I didn't work for about 2.5 months. And if I did go anywhere, like the doctor or the store, I had to wear a mask. And I had to be super, super, super careful because, of course, I couldn't fight anything off. And it didn't matter anyway. No matter how careful I was, I was bound to pick up something, and I ended up in the hospital for 5 days. And I think that's because I had no immune system for over 2 months. I mean, there's no way to not catch something when your immune system is basically non-existent. And as careful as I was, it didn't really matter. This is not necessarily the mask that I wore, but this one is quite dramatic, so I decided to use this one. I've decided to reintroduce color back into my work because I am making progress. My immune system is now back up to normal, which is a huge relief. I went back to work last week, which was also a huge relief. So I'm getting there. It's coming back around. I've deliberately left off a lot of color in my stuff because that's just reflective of what I'm going through, but I'm making progress. I really like the turquoise color, but I did a dark gray glaze on top of this and also a violet glaze and a dark green. So I want to build up a little bit of layers and give something a little more interesting to look at. I'm continuing to use the frames, and will do so until I'm in remission. And then I'm going to get rid of the frames and hopefully not have to use them again. So I also decided to create a Patreon page just because Patreon has changed the rules, and they said I had until a certain date to launch, otherwise they would take 8% instead of 5%. So I was like, well, whatever, I'll just do it. And I have a few things up there. I'd been thinking about doing it before I got sick, and I thought, well, no time like the present, right? Get grandfathered in and go for it. So I have a bunch of videos on there right now of the process, like how I actually make the sculpture out of leather, and a little bit about the clay and the painting process and all that good stuff, which will stay exclusively on Patreon. Those will not ever be put on YouTube. So if you would like to check those out, head over to Patreon and check it out.